Hi there, it's Cami. How are you doing? I'm here today to talk to you about how to build your sales page with just a couple of tools. So glad that you made it. This is very different than my normal live streams. Usually I come on here and I talk to you about a topic and get into it a little bit about my opinions and sort of how it works. But today I'm going to go deep into what I do usually is like creating the sales materials and so forth for different clients. But this is for my launch of Smart Social Mastery. So since I was putting together this landing page, I got this brain storm that maybe I should show you guys how I'm doing it because I've come up with some ways to do this very fast. And I'm using Google Bard, which is an AI tool to help with the writing part of it. I'll show you kind of how I did that because I think it might be instructive to you to see how I work with the AI tool. I'm going to go through a conversation I had with it a couple days ago, and I'm going to show you all of the steps. So again, it's 3 tools. You can put it into place very easily. You can watch this video over again. Also, I teach how to do this in my Smart Social Mastery membership group. So you'll see some of those tools, and I'll be probably teaching this in the group in a couple of weeks. So by the way, that's open right now. You can look at that if you want to, but this is the landing page we're going to be working on today. So if you look at this landing page, this is the one we're working on, and I'll show you kind of how I'm going to do it. All right, cool. So that being said, let me bring up the screen. So that is the screen at the moment, but there's 3 tools I said that we're going to be using, and those are I'm sorry, there's 3 steps to this, and also 3 tools. We're going to pick our tools. I'm going to talk to you about why I picked the tools I did. We're going to write the text with Bard. And then I'm going to show you how I designed the page with ThriveCart, which is a really amazing shopping cart. You need a shopping cart if you're going to sell online products, courses, things like that. So I use ThriveCart, and I'm just going to show you the back end of that and why I use it and tell you all of that. So again, I told you we're going to start with picking your tools. I picked these 3 for today. I am going to throw one in there that's a sort of a bonus, and you'll see what that is in just a few minutes. But Bard is the main one. So most everybody is using Chat GPT. You hear about Chat GPT everywhere, but Bard has some really great new features and some, I think, kind of there in a way it's got some things that are better than ChatGPT sometimes, but I go back and forth between the 2. So again, I'm not a Bard only, but I'm going to show you with Bard because I felt for what I was doing for this project, Bard was working the best. Then Canva is a graphic design tool that I'm sure many of you know what it is. Pretty much it runs my business. And so I'll show you kind of the back end there. And that's where I make the graphics for this live stream. It's where I do everything. And then ThriveCart is the cart I was just telling you about, which is a cart where you can sell your products and services. So that being said, so there's other ones out there, Kajabi, ClickFunnels. I mean, there's just a bunch of them, but I use ThriveCart. So I'll tell you why I do. So I'm going to go there. So I've told you what the tools are. We're going to write the text. So that's where we are right now. I want to write the text with you, and I'm going to bring you up to Bard. So here's Bard. I'm going to make this bigger because you will not be able to see it unless I do. So let me pull this up a bit. So there's some updates in Bard recently that are going to be very helpful for you, I think, and for anybody that's doing this kind of work. So for especially for consultants and people like that, like I am, this is very helpful. So they are improving Bard for for one thing. They're adding a way for you to give feedback. So they're going to be giving us several different responses, and you can choose between the responses that you like the best, which I think is a cool way for it to train itself. It's a very smart way to do training. That's very interesting. So again, real world feedback helps the AIs, and I've talked about that in other live streams. But remember not to put private IP type of information into Bard. Unless you don't mind it being out there. By the way, obviously I don't mind it being out there because that's why I'm sharing it with you. I don't think it's all that private anyway, for me. But if it was something that was about to launch that was a big client, I would not put it in here. I just wouldn't. So introducing Bard's most capable model yet. They have put in all kinds of really interesting things, including Google apps and services. So you can have Google Bard search your Gmail, not your G Suite. It's not available for that right now, but your Gmail and put together lists of things. So I think this is going to be grow to be something really powerful where you can summarize, like say maybe all of your newsletters and say, what do I need to learn from these newsletters or things like that. So that will also pose a problem for us trying to get emails to people, but we'll talk about that later. And also, it now allows you to search the web for the results for citations for what you're putting together in Bard. So you can ask it, to search what it's telling you and tell you which parts of it are real or not. So that I think is really, really good because we need to know if what's being said is true. So again, Bard, I think, has made some really big striving in this, but of course, it's Google, so they do not want to lose their search data. So, Chat GPT has given them a run for their money for sure, and they are responding. Okay, cool. So I'm going to now move on to the actual prompts that I have ready for you today. Okay, cool. So, oh boy, it's going to take a second to load. So I'm going to come big screen while it loads for a minute. It was loaded a minute ago. Of course. I knew that doing this live with all of these open tabs was going to be a little challenging, but I know that it's going to be fun for you too. By the way, the comments are open. So if you do drop by and you do have a request or you have a question about anything I'm doing, let me know. I will check them from time to time. Again, I'm going to be working in real time with you, so I want to make sure that we that that I am going to be checking, but just maybe not every second. Okay, cool. So that being said, let us open this up again because it's loaded itself. So here's an interesting thing that I think that you need to understand about chat AI, any of them, ChatGPT, whether it be Bard, whether it be whatever, is that you need to prime it. So we can't just come in and say, just start writing emails for me. You have to actually teach it what you need it to learn. So I'm going to go through that step by step with you right now. So when you come into Bard, you can start a new chat right here in the top left corner. And when you start a new chat, you're going to start a thread. And what Bard does is it remembers all of the stuff that you're putting into this thread. So as you go down and enter more and more prompts, that particular thread gets smarter and smarter and smarter. Now, it doesn't last forever. So these are pretty limited in the sense that after a certain amount of time, it can't hold on to all of that information anymore. Well, it can, but they've limited it because of money, storage, servers, all that kind of stuff. So remember that, you have to kind of make sure that it still remembers what you have in there. And you might have to come back and take pieces of what you've already done with it, bring it down into the prompt. I'll explain it. That's going to be very clear to you in a minute what I mean by that. So let me just kind of start with what we did here. I'm going to make this a little bigger so you can read my writing, read the typing. Anyway, I think I can make it bigger. Let's see if it'll let me. Oh, Bard. We be bigger? Okay, yes. Hopefully that makes it a little bit easier to see. So I came in and my first prompt or primer, so this is a prompt, but it was a primer, was I would like to do some research on what kind of brand voice my ideal customer might best respond to. Can you tell me what you need from me? Oh, I just overdid that a little bit. I was making it bigger for you and I did it too fast. All right, give me a second to kind of back off that. But I started to ask it questions. That's the important thing to really get from this interaction is that when you first start with the chat, you want to kind of ask it what it needs from you to be successful. And I think that you're going to find that that's really powerful. Oh, here we go. This is so much better. So, it's going to be very powerful for you to do this because what then will happen is that Bard will then ask you or tell you what it needs from you in order to be successful. And so it gave me to create prompts that will best help me get information about what kind of brand voice your ideal customer might best respond to. I will need to know more about your ideal customer. Who are they? What are their demographics? Age, gender, location, education level, etc. What are their interests? What are their pain points? What are their goals? Your brand. What are your brand values? What makes your brand unique? What kind of relationship do you want to have with your customers? So once I have a better understanding of your ideal customer and your brand, I can create prompts that will help me learn more about what kind of brand voice they might best respond to. So this is really important because I want to know how to write the prompts for the AI in a way that it will understand. So again, all of these prompt bibles and stuff out there are great, but guess what? This technology is changing every single day. It's getting smarter. It needs different kinds of things from you. So I think from time to time it's good to check in with the technology and ask it what it needs from you. So I call this priming. I'm not the only one who calls it priming. It's kind of what it's called in the chat in the AI world. But you're priming it, you're teaching it, you're training it. Okay, so it says, I may not perfectly understand all your prompts. I will do my best to generate responses. It did give me some ideas for um, for prompts that I can use, and I'm going to actually take this and copy it. If it gives you something like this, you can take this and copy it. And I happen to work a on a PC, but this is where I kind of save my notes. So, by the way, I was putting some quotes in here because we're going to use these later, and I'll explain that to you later. But I'm going to put these right here, right now, just so that we can grab them if we need them without having to scroll up. So again, you want to kind of have a few things open on your desktop that are going to help you to get through this process and be very successful. So again, the more information you can provide, the better. So I've been working with the Smart Social Mastery group for a while, so I had quite a bit to say. So I pretty much took everything that they asked and answered it one by one by one. So I'm not going to read through this for you, but the idea is that I went through and answered those questions that it had to the best of my ability. I talked about what ages they were, what their interests were, all of that stuff. I answered it exactly in the order that it asked. A little bit of typos, but by the way, the typos don't matter in here as much as long as the meaning is still there. Okay, cool. So then the next thing is that after I put that in, Bard came back to me and it said, based on your description of your ideal customer, here are some prompts that you can learn more about what kind you can use to learn more about what kind of brand voice they might best respond to. Um, so I did some of these, but not all of them. So I'm just going to grab these just like we just did, and I'm going to put them over here in my handy dandy notepad again. So these are potential prompts, right? So they got a little bit more specific here. So I'm going to leave just like that. So that's just so that I don't need probably both those prompts. I might actually combine them a little bit. But anyway, so there you go. And it gave me some ideas for prompts. It also immediately it gave me, sorry, I went too fast there. It also immediately gave me some of the brand voice that might resonate with my ideal customer. So what's really interesting to me about this is we do this all the time with brand voices. We come up with three main sort of adjectives that describe the kind of voice that it needs to be. I didn't even tell it this, but because it's kind of common to do that with brand voices. But we will take three main voices and then we'll break them down into those three voices, and that becomes the voice of the brand. Well, we didn't have AI before. We would just do this on our own and through intuition and stuff like that. But AI is going to help me a little bit to grab that and look at it. It says authoritative. Your brand voice should convey you're an expert in your field. You should use language that is clear, concise, and informative. Definitely, I agree with that. Empathetic, your brand voice should show that you understand your ideal customer's pain points and goals. You should use language that is supportive and empowering. And conversational, your brand should be approachable and relatable. You should use language that is similar to the language your ideal customers use. Okay, so this is pretty vague. We're going to get a lot more detailed later. But I do like this. It says you can also use humor and creativity in your brand voice, but be careful not to go overboard. I love that. You want your ideal customers to see you as credible and professional, not a clown. I just loved this when this came out. Not a clown. I'm like, no, not a clown. One other thing you can do, and this isn't really asking for facts, but the cool thing that it now has is you can double check your response to make sure that it is an accurate response. I think for this, it's more of an opinion, so it may not work, but I'm gonna just show you how it works. What'll happen is you click on the G and it's going to go through the entire statements that Bard made to me. And then it said no results found, right? Because I was asking for its opinion. So that's why. But if you were asking questions about, where did you, something in history or something like that, it now can go out to um, actual search and tell you exactly where it pulled that information from. It tells you where it got it from. And I think that's so powerful because it's a double checker. That's the thing that ChatGPT does not have right now. And I think that is one of the things that really is powerful. Okay, cool. I'm going to move on as fast as I can. Asked it. Oh gosh, I'm reloading here. I then asked it, what kind of content does my ideal customer like to consume? I just wanted to know what maybe else they might read or be interested in. And I just said what kind of content because I didn't want to lead it down a path. I was just trying to hear what it had to say. And it said they're likely to consume blog posts, articles, case studies. I think that's a good one. Videos and podcasts. So, and social media posts, of course. So my audience would do that. So blog posts, articles, case studies, videos, podcasts, and social media posts. And I think industry publications, academic journals. This gives you just an idea of okay, this is the kind of content I should be creating. I think that it would be similar for a lot of audiences, although I would love to see what happens with your audience. So I thought this was really interesting. Again, fairly general information, but I think helpful. So I want to dig in just a little bit deeper. Um, and digging in a little deeper, I said, can you give me examples of language I should use in a sales page to agitate their problems, provide a unique solution? Sure. Here are some examples of language you can use in a sales page to agitate your ideal customer's problems. So this is sort of a well-known formula, is that you do a problem, you do an agitation of the problem and a solution of a problem, usually all in one sentence or in one paragraph. I like to do them all in one sentence sometimes. Um, just talking about the different kinds of problems. Are you tired of being too busy to market your own business? Do you feel overwhelmed by the constantly changing social media landscape? Are you frustrated with not seeing results from your marketing efforts? Do you wish you had more time to focus on your clients and growing business rather than having to do your own marketing? Are you struggling to keep up with the latest trends and best practices in marketing and communication? Again, this is aimed at a PR and communications audience. So I would probably soften this a little bit because most of them do know what's going on. They know what to do. Again, I would have to rewrite some of this, as you can see. And it says provide a unique solution. And then it gave me some ideas. And some of these are very good, I think. Our marketing and communication services or Smart Social Mastery can help you free up your time so you can focus on your clients and your growing business. That's kind of true, but it's a done with you program. So it doesn't completely free up your time, but it absolutely shortens the amount of time you spend on this. And that I could kind of bake into that. We have a team of experts who are up to date on the latest trends. True. This is very true. We can develop and implement a customized marketing and communication plan. We can help you. So it's still trying to get me to do done for you services in here, which is great because we do that on the agency side. This is be very helpful on the agency side. We will work with you to create content that is relevant and valuable to your target audience. We will help you track and measure the results of your marketing efforts. Okay, so these are true, but I still think we need to go deeper, right? So when you get to this point, instead of giving up and saying, "Oh my gosh, this thing is just you're going to go a little bit deeper. By the way, some of you might say, well, then why don't I just write the darn thing? This takes too long. But I'm going to be honest, having something to edit sometimes works a lot better than having to write it yourself from scratch. So I asked about a website and it couldn't find it. So it can't search websites yet, which is good to know. Okay, here's some text. Um, and then what I did is I brought my entire current sales page text into here and I pasted it in so that it could it could read it. So it could see what I am telling my clients already. So I'd asked it a few things before I did this. So I would call this a priming move again, because I've written the sales page already. The sales page is actually, I'll show you the sales page. The sales page is on ThriveCart, but let me show you what it looks like. This is what it looks like right now. Um, and I'll let it load. But I just took that and I actually put that into Bard so that it could see what I was looking for. I'm going to go back to Bard. So that it could see what it was. So I put all of the text for the sales page, which we will be looking at here in a few minutes. And then I asked it, how would you change this? And it went through the entire sales page and gave me some recommendations from top to bottom. So that then I took this, which I thought was very helpful, but it's hard to read edits of any kind. Sorry, I'm trying to get this down here. Um, when you're doing edits of any kind, this is a very hard format to look at. So what I did is I brought it into Google Docs, and I created this really easy to use template, I guess is the best way to put it, that I could see what it was recommending and what I'd had before. So I put in um, what it told me, and I put in what was current and updated it yet, but I would say recommended is what I put on here. And you are probably not seeing this. You finally are. Okay, great. So this is the sheet that I took from Bard. So I just put it into a table, and then I put on the left-hand side the different sections of the landing page. By the way, I also asked Bard, what are the sections of a landing page that you should have? That came up a little bit later. So I dropped those in here in a slightly different order, because I do it slightly different. I pretty much had everything there except for maybe one or two things that I thought, oh yeah, that'd be good to add. So I have it. I really like this subhead. I didn't really have one that was really great. So I'm going to be working on the subhead here today, and I put them all into this format. Again, so this template is a template that I'm creating right now that I will probably give to my Smart Social Mastery students in a week or two. Like, we will actually sit together and work on our landing pages together. So anybody who wants to work on a landing page, will be working on them inside of the Smart Social Mastery membership. But this is a much easier way to look at it than say, this, right? I'm going to actually get rid of some of these as we go, so that we can loading pages every time. You'd think that they would just stay loaded. That's what I thought they would. Anyway, so again, this having temps you to create what you need to create, and put it together. So if I have it all in this template, what's great about that is that, and I can do all of the writing here in this template rather than trying to do it on the page. So writing on page is a little bit hard page because they're used to it. But I like this because I'll tell you why. Later, if you need to make changes, you can do it from here too. So again, the tweaks and everything like that is something you can do right from the templated page. So I highly recommend creating templates for yourself or working with somebody else to create these templates with you, because I think this is probably one of the best ways to manage that kind of a situation. All right, cool. So that took forever for me to do that. So again, this is how we're going to do that. Let me quickly change over to the landing page. Hopefully it's loaded by now. I'm not going to use Google Chat. Sometimes I do keep ChatGPT open just to get like a second opinion. So like I might ask it the same prompt I asked Bard and just see what it comes up with. And what I've been finding for this particular project is it's just a little bit too hyperbolic. It's just a little bit, it's too flowery, too many adjectives. And it's probably my fault because I primed it to do some of that. But I need to probably like prime it back to make sure that it's a little more professional in its tone. But anyway, so yeah, so I'm struggling with that. But you can look at different products and like kind of see which one is giving you the best result for your audience and your thing. But I like Bard because it is letting me do what I need to do to teach it how to manage that. So okay, so let's get to this because I am hoping that we can open. So ThriveCart is a very powerful shopping cart engine, and I want to share that with you now. And what's great about ThriveCart is that it allows you to sell your products, and also it does also have a membership module in it that I am sort of using in a way. I started to use it, and then I realized that I do have another tool that I like a lot better for that, for sharing the videos that I share. So I what I do have is it's a landing page, and that takes you to that video hub. So kind of that's the way it's going right now. So with this, ThriveCart is good. So the reason I like ThriveCart specifically is because they have a what's the right word for it? They have a one-time price. So I paid it years ago, and it's about just a little bit under $500, and it's like you never have to pay for it again. And see, a lot of the actual platforms that you go on will take a cut of your income, or they will charge you month. It's often charging me something like $180 a month. And so, yeah, make those purchases and not have to pay over and over and over again. So that it has that sort of back end um, capability. And what's really cool about ThriveCart is they just released a version of it. I wasn't super happy with the design. That was the one thing I wasn't super happy with ThriveCart because I like to design things a little bit nicer. And the actual cart that I have right now is pretty basic. I mean, you can go look at it right now if you want to. It's smart social mastery .com. Let me get that up here. Uh, smartsocialmastery.com is what it is. But anyway, so I'm going to create that banner for us. I thought I had that up here. But anyway, yeah, so it's Smart Social Mastery. Oh, yeah, I do. Here it is. So smartsocialmastery.com is where I have the cart right now. It's this URL is pointed to that cart. And that cart is, I just feel like it's kind of so 2000. I don't know. It just feels to me like the design on that wasn't great. So that was the only really big problem I had with it. But just recently, like in the last couple of weeks, ThriveCart released new templates and really pretty design that you can use in block format. Like you can add headlines and add things to it. And it's so, so nice. And so I'm redesigning that page with that new look and that new design. Now we're open right now. The cart's open right now. So I don't really think I'm going to switch over to the super pretty design until probably the end of the year. But right now I'm working on it, so that's why I wanted to show you, because I'm working on it right now, and the current cart is open. But oh yeah, finally it's kind of showing me what it looks like. So I'll pull this up so you can see what I'm talking about. So I feel like this is just, it's an okay cart. It's like definitely what I would call minimum viable product. So my membership is fairly new, so there's that as well. Uh, um, so I mean, it's not, it doesn't have to be perfect, right? So that's the other thing. And I do like it. It does work, right? It's okay. So I put this all in here, and I was able to put all of, the things I wanted to say, um, including, what this is all about, including videos that I could embed. I mean, there's a lot of really cool features of this that's really been helpful on ThriveCart. But again, it's pretty basic, whatever you want to call it. And so I am now working to put together another cart, which is up here. You can see I've started testing out on it. And if I click on edit, and I'll probably have to pull out for a minute while it does that because it's just so slow. But then I can, create this new sort of responsive design, beautiful design, right? So that's why ThriveCart is really good right now. And they're about to like announce something in the next couple of weeks. Like they're going to have it, so you can click your funnels together through there. And you could already, they have a funnel builder, but they're going to have a drag and drop, like visualization of your funnel. It's really kind of powerful. Okay. So I'm just going to show you the back end of this, the way that it works. And I'm going to go to the checkout because I just am afraid this is going to take forever. So, again, it's just really powerful. I'm just really, happy that they have this new design. Oh, I don't want to cancel. So you can do this. I'm going to show you how I am doing it. Let me click on the design and I will go through here. Okay, great. So I can show you this now. So here it is. It's the back end of this. So you put in your product and you put in all of the things that you're doing with your product. And I'm going to make that bigger so you can see it and be very patient while it gets big so I don't overdo it. Cool. So it says access your product, and you can also ship a DVD and CVD. This is a kind of a cool option that they have if you want to ship something to your customers. You can give them a display of their invoice. You can do all of that. You can go to fulfillment, and on fulfillment, that's where you're going to create your design. And the design is cool. So all you have to do is launch the editor. So it's a lot like a builder. Like I use Elementor on my WordPress site. So it's a builder kind of thing like that. And as you can see on the left, you can see it's got components, blocks, elements, and you can use all of those components, blocks. It's going slow because of the live stream, but generally it's been pretty fast. It'll open up and work with me very quickly. So I can change the colors. I can pick a template and then I can customize it to me and what I need, and I can add things to it. So I'm really happy with this. For videos, you have to put a embed. You can put a video on the page, but you can't upload the video. So I've just been putting them in Searchy, which is my video program, or you can put them in YouTube with a, non-readable link, or, only readable for the people who are there. So it's taking its time to open. It's very pretty though, comparatively. And this is what I love about it is this part right here that shows you all the blocks, all the places you can put it. And it's and so I love, love, love this. And I might, in a separate video, I might actually go through this with you and just pre-record it so you can watch it that way. I think that might be the only way I'm going to be able to do this, it looks like. So again, that particular tool, I just pulled this up, that's the cost of it. And I paid it many, many moons ago and really have really loved that I did. It saved me a ton of money. Okay, cool. So there's that. So the other thing that I'm using obviously is Canva. We are creating all of the design for the pages and stuff in Canva and then putting them there. I'm redoing right now our client testimonial pages because I have videos, but like I think having the text with the video might be better. So that's what I'm working on right now, is that. And like I told you in my in this awesome little text file here, I've been creating I just went through the videos and grabbed the and I'll show you how I did that so here too, if I can. So yeah, here's the testimonials. So the inside of Searchy, which is SEARCHIE.io, I can grab this edit transcript here. So what's great about Searchy is that I put my videos into Searchy and then Searchy transcripts them all, or puts a transcript with all of them. So I can grab these transcripts as it's part of my deal, right? And I can then, turn them into other things. So I'm really, really glad that I have that. And I don't need to show you all of that, but I just grabbed that stuff from Searchy in here. And then my videos are also searchable on the hub, which is part of, what I'm doing with the Smart Social Mastery group, is putting all those videos where they can be, accessed easily, found easily. It's in a very pretty format. Okay, so that's what I'm doing with Canva. There's also a ton of other Canva options right now. around AI. You can turn your designs into interactive flip books. There's so many apps right now, including text to images, so you can type your text in and do it images. I don't think it's that great yet. I personally use Midjourney when I want to do that. Midjourney is my favorite for that. I don't use a lot of AI generated stuff on the image side because it bothers me a little bit, because I really feel like, they've stolen some information. So I don't like, especially for clients and stuff. I am not using it for that yet. There is stuff coming up. Getty just announced that they're going to be training an AI on their Getty stock images, and you can buy them from Getty. So you can now, well, I don't know, now, soon. They just announced it's coming out soon. But I bet you in the next month or two or whatever, you're going to be able to go to Getty and purchase AI images from Getty, or even generate AI images with Getty's thing. And then they are going to give some money back to the photographers and creators that are being used in that. So I think that's coming. Creators are starting to make deals with different places. I think that I just heard recently that the actors just made a deal with equity about doing getting some money for if their images are used in future works. So I think this is coming along. I don't think it's going to go backwards. I know a lot of different organizations are looking into it. I'm going to PRSA Icon here in October, and they are talking right now about updating the code of ethics with an AI section. Really, really good. I think they moved really quickly on this, and I'm very proud of them and happy. And also the AP Style Book, which is the Bible for journalists, has already updated their book with the AP Style Book with an AI statement about what you should do with AI if you're a journalist. So I think these things are coming along. So, okay, great. So that being said, let's get back to Bard. Okay. So you're going to agitate their problem. Here we are. Okay. So I've got several different things here. Is that after this all came, is I started to ask, okay, so I said, instead of grow your authority, say grow your authority in business with a proven roadmap. So I went back through and I added everything that the AI asked me to do here in this template. So I'm going to show you how I'm working this. So go grab that. So the headline is there. They had said, mine was build your online visibility, grow your authority in your business. Theirs was grow your authority in business with a proven roadmap. I really like that. I think that's really good. So I'm going to go change that in my current website. So again, right now I'm going to update my current one, and then I'm also going to build simultaneously the new website for this particular landing page. But do you see how quickly you can do this? So you can go down and put this all in. So I have gone through and I added all of the suggestions that they gave me. So my current one here, and then my current one there. And I'm going to go back and add the prompts for my students so they can see what I did. The Smart Social Mastery Program is for seasoned professional relations, marketing, and social media consultants. I think this needs to be filled out just a little bit more. And so probably what I'll do is I take this and I would talk about this is a subhead, I think. So let me just see what it said. I think this is the subhead. Let me see what this was. Yeah, the subhead. So again, I'm going to need to write a subhead that's very much shorter. And so that's current page. I didn't really add a good subhead. So I'm going to have to go back and add that in with the builder and put it in there. So again, really, really helpful. I'm not going to go through all of these one by one by one because I did it. And by the way, I did this sitting on my couch like late one night, like this last week, just sitting there and asking it questions over and over and over again. So I wanted to show you what I did because I think it's super helpful. And I know that I can't completely go over every single bit of this, especially since the builder is moving so slowly. So I should have probably pre-recorded. But anyway, again, I believe that this is really helpful as far as a concept. And let me know if you have a question. Again, um, I think that, if I'm given some time to sit here, I could probably get all of this into my thing in about an hour. I need about an hour of just undivided time to take what I learned and put it into the actual landing page I already have. And then I'm going to tweak the worksheet that I put together, and I'm going to keep everything in there so that that way, as things go on, I can tweak again and I do not have to like worry about it, try to find it, figure it out. So I hope this has helped you a little bit. It's a lot, I know, but I just knew that I wanted to show you this, and I guess do I can't get the builder to open, but I would have just put those in for you and shown you how easy that is. And it's super simple. You just click on the little pencil and you put it in. It's super easy. And then you can see how it looks and you can tweak it a little bit. I'm really excited about that for you. And the Bard tool, again, I think the thing, if I had one thing I want you to take away from this, is that it's not about getting it to do the writing for you. It's getting it to collaborate with you. You need to ask it a lot of questions and answer them. It's work for you. I almost believe that in order to get great stuff out of Bard or ChatGPT, you have to be also a great writer. You have to be a great thinker. You have to ask questions. So I love that. I think that it's going to help us to be a lot more thoughtful in what we do and really ask questions. So again, if you just spend some time with Bart asking it questions about your ideal audience and just digging deeper and deeper into that, giving it some information, it giving you back some information, it's basically summarizing your thoughts then. And it's not like it's only taking from the internet. It's actually taking your thoughts and making them slightly better. And I found that it does that. It's really good for me, like to do a brain dump into Bard and ask it some questions about the brain dump, and then it organizes my brain dump into something that's really useful. And I've seen this over and over and over again. ChatGPT does it too, but I just wanted to show you Bard and show you that it's a really, really helpful tool right now. Also, if you ask it questions about what's happening in your industry, it can do Google searches now to verify if that is true or not true with that little G that I showed you at the beginning. So those are the things that I would want you to take away from today. Also, definitely check out smartsocialmastery.com where I'm doing this. I hopefully in the next day or so, it will look a little bit different. So if you look at it now and then look at it again in about a day, I think that you're going to see that there's some tweaks to the content that I've used from this experience I've had with Bard. All right, guys, that's it for today. I do not want to hold you up anymore, but I hope you have a great one. And let me know if you have any questions in the chat. Awesome. Take care. Bye.